if I want to appreciate you first for the for coming up with this great university and trying to bring to unite Africa generally. And hello,
Yeah,
hello.
I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
please. Go ahead.
Yes. Trying to bring Africans together, and trying to unite Africans is a very wonderful thing. Now, it's covered that when people, Africans, move to these Western countries, because the governance in most of these African countries are not okay. The governance, we don't have good governance. Dr. Siri, if you're able to agree with me that practically in Nigeria as it is.
Yeah, the kit is not working. Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
These are not really working well. We have if we have very good governance in all over Africa, we won't be running away from. We won't be leaving our countries to other countries. No, you see, we'll be in our country. Take for instance, look at Nigeria as weary as Nigerian is. No good governance, corruption everywhere. Why won't you run out of the country to go? Why won't these white men maltreat the black, the African Americans? We don't have good governance. Nobody don't have good governance in our country generally. That's it. That's one issue. And all this white sees himself as one to the blacks. You see, that's where the issue is. Bad governance is one of the problem of Africa generally. Bad governance. It's one of the problem. It's worse in Nigeria now and other countries. If we have good governance in our various countries, we won't run away. We won't leave our country. What would have pushed us to go where we are? What would have pushed us to go that place where we be treated as a slave? Yes, it's a second class, even is this second class student, is this second class citizen or third class citizen, or whatever you call it. You see, they don't regard us. So what of this we also need to talk about is the very good governance.
Yeah.
Speak about good governance. Please. If I say we also tell the African leaders, good governance nature of the countries. It's help us not to be influenced or exodus of what's it called? Africans to Americans taking the greener pasture in other countries. So that's it, sir.
Okay. You know, what I would say about that, Brother Emu Fabian, is that we have to take a long-term view. We have to roll up our sleeves and take a long-term view. And one way we can help along those lines is to teach a new generation of young Africans to be ethical, to be moral, to be patriotic, to be kind, and to live out the ideals of Ubuntu. So imagine if we were to roll up our sleeves right now and say we're going to teach 50,000 young people. I mean, we have schools right here that are that number. You know, we have schools that are 20,000 students, 30,000 students, 50,000 students. We can even do better. We can break that record. We can teach more than that. So imagine we are graduating many students who have this new mindset. In 4 years or in 2 years, they go through our program and they learn the ideals of Ubuntu. And maybe 10 years from now, 20 years from now, they run for office. I think we'll have a better shot of better governance. So we need to shift from talking about the issues that we know they are there and start asking ourselves, how can we bring about change and how can we be part of the solution? You know, It's just that simple. I'm not saying it's simple to do it and effective, but it's in terms of what we need to do is clear and simple. We need to roll up our sleeves and get to work. You know. So I'm happy you are on board and you are concerned about this. And so get ready to teach, right? Get ready to teach the next generation. You know, and so that they go out there and they themselves can also teach other people that will come after them. See, we need to bring it back. We are bringing back Ubuntu. We're bringing back the ideals and principles of Ma'at, which is justice and fairness, right? We want to bring those things back and teach it to our people. That's all we have. That's all we can do for now. And of course, we have other folks who are, trying to generate support politically now, but that's their job. Let them do that. Those in politics, let them do that. But our job, we're in education. Let's focus on what we can do and what we know how to do and do it very well. See? So that's my response to that. Somebody else has their hands. Is it Area Market? You have your hands raised. Do you want to say something? Area Market, your hands are raised. Or is that a mistake?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, speak up a little bit more.
Yes, this is Area Market.
That is very, that's Brother Dan. I can hear your voice. I know this man. Okay, your hands are raised. Yeah, please go ahead, Mr. Dan.
Yes, I'm concerned about George Floyd's case as man inhumanity to man, and as said that Africans should show example of how to be human. I want to state that here, what happened to George Floyd is an occurrence that is, taking place here on a daily basis in Nigeria. And now I want to say, how do we expect other race to respect us or to value our lives when we Africans are treating ourselves, inhumanly? I want to say that it is not possible for them to value us, whereas we do not value ourselves.
Yeah.
On a daily basis, I want to tell you that police use live ammunition on Nigerians, and nobody says anything. Nothing happens. And I want to say also that before the people will begin to respect us, wherever an African is maltreated, we should raise our voice in condemnation of such acts, irrespective of where it happened. Is it in Nigeria? Is it in the US? Is it in Asia? Wherever. That is the only time they will start respecting us. If a police will use live ammunition in Nigeria and we see it as nothing, if it happens in America, they will also see it as nothing. And believe me, those in US, when they hear the news of what happened in Nigeria, they don't give a damn. This is a deep occurrence, I want to tell us. And there's nobody who will respect us as long as these issues continue to happen in Africa and we are not saying something. So I want to encourage us to raise, our voices and condemn these acts wherever they happen. And also the Osiri University to start to inculcate part of qualities of humanity like leadership in their curriculum. Africans, one of the biggest problems we have in Africa is bad leadership. We are not leading by example. In Africa, sees leadership as different from what the word means. So I want us to start teaching it from our schools, and let it mean a whole lot. In Africa here, in Nigeria in particular, leadership means sycophancy. If somebody is not supporting you, if somebody does not bear your own opinion, they take it to mean that you are against them, whether they are telling you the right thing or the wrong thing. So I want us to teach what leadership should be all about to our children. Let them understand it right from the kindergarten to the other advanced stages. And I also want to say that we need to know what humanity is all about. Here, we don't know what humanity is all about. You will see somebody dying and people will just walk past. But if we understand what humanity is all about, even our leaders will know that stealing our money, stashing it abroad is inhumanity to man. And I think by the time we begin to observe these, necessary steps, I think things will begin to take a new dimension. So these are part of the things I would like us to look into, so that by the time we expect somebody to respect us, we ourselves will first respect ourselves. Take the first shot, live by example, and then all this kind of a thing will stop happening. May the soul of our brother George Floyd rest in peace. Thank you, brothers.
Thank you very much. That was well said. So I think a couple of weeks ago we had a session on the 3 C's of African leadership. We talked about compassion, cooperation, and co-prosperity. Those are our ancient leadership values, but we have lost them, and we need to bring those back. We talked about the fact that in the Congo tradition, the chief or the king is a listener. He is a holder of ears, and the king or the chief or the leader of a village comes to a place called Umbongi. In Igbo, sometimes they call it Ama or Obu, and sits and listens and listens to criticism. So we have lost that, but that is the African way, So, and after and he's listening or she's listening keenly so that he or she can understand where the pains are, where the problems are, so that they can then go back and prefer solutions. I also referred to the definition of listening in Igbo. We say gebe nte, to listen. And gebente actually literally translates to hang your ear. Gebente. Would you agree? Right? It means hang your ear. So the idea of listening is actually very deep in the African context. You have to shut up and listen. You hang your ear there. That's what gebente means. That's what listening means. But we have lost that. We have lost that. Even the word Ubuntu, as you know, is South Africa. But look at how they treated fellow Africans a few years ago, right? So we have lost that, and we need to. Part of our effort is we are trying to remind ourselves. We want to remind ourselves of who we are, and that's our mission. Our mission is to remind ourselves of who we are. And that's why I also describe Africans as sleeping giants. We are asleep. We need to be awoken. We need to be awoken, and that's reminding is part of the awakening process. This is not who we are. Killing is not who we are. Shooting each other is not who we are. Hating each other is not who we are. We have to get back to Ubuntu. We have to get back to true love. And that's why I gave a challenge here. My challenge to the folks who came on here was to go back and try to perform some act of sacrifice. I'd ask people, go and just and do that. Give up something that you want badly, give it up to somebody else. That is how we're going to start remembering again. That is how we're going to start imbibing those values. If we're going to teach it, we need to start practicing it. So sacrifice is the first step. And that's who we are. I mean, just last week, we had one of our sisters from Zambia beautifully describe the Ubuntu, the way it's practiced in Zambia. She talked about her mom who spent time making their own type of alcohol. Is a beauty. I think it's made from. I forgot the fruit where it's made from in Zambia. But anyway, the mom spends time making this beautiful, tasty drink for a stranger that she doesn't even know will show up and when they might show up. Just think about that a person will sit down and spend their time doing something for somebody that they don't even know. Just imagine how beautiful that is. That is African. So a sister shared that. And actually that reminded me of my grandmother. She would do the same thing. She would prepare food whenever she was cooking. She wasn't just cooking for herself or her, or for her children. She was cooking for the entire clan and for strangers who might come in to eat. That is exactly that's how she was wired. For me, that is what being an African is. So we need to remind ourselves of these values, and we need to get back to it. So yeah, once you leave here, think about making a sacrifice, and you can start with your own family. Sacrifice to a brother, to a friend, to a coworker. Give them something that you need. Give it up, and they will begin to revive those values.